Hello and welcome to All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. Today we are blessed to have Bishop Bob Jackson, Axel Gospel Church right here in Oakland with us. Bob Jackson is a candidate for the Oakland City Council District 7 and my, he is going to tell you why he should be elected to the Oakland City Council. Welcome, Bishop Jackson. How are you?
Thank you, sir. I'm doing fine by the grace of God. Thank you for having me on the program.
Well, you know, it's always a pleasure to have you back here on the program. You know why?
No, sir.
Because you are genuine. You tell the truth, even when the truth hurts. You tell it anyway.
If you don't,
and that's why I always like to have you here on my show.
Thank you.
So tell us, you are running for city council. Why are you running?
Well, that's what I've been asking. Not that I don't have enough things to do, but I've been noticing District 7 for quite a while now. And it's just run down. I mean, some of the things, the problems we've been having in District 7, they've been continuous, and it just doesn't seem
What are
like,
some of those problems?
Well, the littering, the loitering, I mean, the illegal dumping.
Oh, yes, I saw that on my way down to the station.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous. It's almost like a third world country out there in District 7. I mean, they just throw trash is just strewn everywhere. It's like the city dump. And it seems like no one really cares. And yet we pay taxes to live out here in District 7.
A lot of taxes.
But we don't have the representation. So
why, Bishop, why?
Well, because I feel like it's a disconnect with City Hall. It's a disconnect because of our city council person. And, you know, he's been there a long time. And so I just
24 years, huh?
Yeah, 24, going on 26. I just think that he's been there a long time. And anyway, it's just time for change. It's time for trusted leadership, you know, that we can make sure we can get the things done that we deserve. Again, we pay taxes, and good taxes, as a matter of fact. So, you know, the cleaning of the streets and dealing with the homeless problem, dealing with the affordable housing problems, the jobs, the security, the safety. I mean, all of those things are a part of being a city councilman and making sure that we get those things. And
before you leave cleaning on the streets, I understand you already been doing something about that, even though you're not yet on the city council. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct,
sir.
Tell us
about it.
We've been, well, the Men of Valor Academy, we have a training program with the Men of Valor Academy. We have about 70 men in the program that's coming out of incarceration. And what we do is we work with them, and a lot of them we have to teach how work skills, work ethics, and those kind of things. So we end up cleaning up the streets and whatnot. We've been working with several community groups, you know, to clean the streets and clean District 7, District 6. And we've been doing that as part of our training. And I tell you, it's still not enough. You know what I'm saying? So we have some ideas about how to make that even better.
But it's demonstrating what you will do if you are elected, right?
It's absolutely true.
Now you were talking about the homeless. What
right.
About
well, the homeless situation, because we don't have affordable housing, and no one wants to build affordable housing because they say there's no money in it, and so they want to build market rate because they can get more money. But I said, but what about the people that has low income or just moderate income who would like to be homeowners, who like to have a place to stay? It's kind of like they're not that concerned. So when you say affordable housing, you have to be careful who you're talking to, because some people think affordable housing is for those who can afford it.
Well,
and it's so sad. No, but it's sad. It's really sad.
I know.
Because I think to own a home is a California, I mean, it's an American dream to own your own home. You know what I'm saying? So, and there were programs in the day, the 220 program, the Veterans Administration programs, a lot of programs that subsidize low-income people to help them become homeowners. And it worked. And what it does is it stabilizes the community and also causes the community to be safer, because homeowners take more pride in their property and they take more pride in their neighborhood.
Well, do you have anything specific that you may be offering in terms of eradicating or reducing the homeless population here in Oakland?
Right. Well, the first thing I want to do is set up a homeless commission, because we don't have a homeless commission to just focus on the homeless problem. We have people throwing Band-Aids at it and things like that, but no one is really doing it. I don't think people are taking the homeless population very serious, and they just think that eventually, you know, they're going to go away. I just don't think so. As a matter of fact, it seems as though the numbers are increasing. So we need to have a commission on homelessness, and we need to take all the resources from county and the city to put them together to do what we really need to do to help the people. Now, when they had the fire up there at Paradise, they had 15,000 people that became homeless.
That's true.
They became homeless because their homes burned down during the fire. But you see, they put up a homeless community. They put up showers and portable showers and portable dining halls, and they put up tents and stuff like that. And it was very well done. 15,000 people shared.
Why that disparate treatment? People up in Paradise Valley gets one thing, we down here seem to get something else.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. It's only because the people up in Paradise care about the people in their city. And we need to care about our people in the city of Oakland as well. So coming back to becoming the city councilman and why I'm running, I believe we can abate those problems. We have a building downtown, North County Jail, that used to house 800 prisoners right across from the police department. It's empty right now, totally empty. And our taxes are paying $83,000 a month to keep the air conditioners on and the lights on.
$83,000?
$83,000 a month to keep that place open, and it can house 800 prisoners. Well, I told him, I said, listen, all we have to do is put a wall up where the cells are, put a wall up there and put a door with a lock and key, and we can bring 800 homeless people in there. It's self-contained, it's got a toilet, it's got a sink, it's got hot water, it's got everything you need for just a little studio, right? So what happened was the county went to the homeless population and said, hey, would you all like to go to the prison down here, the jailhouse, and live in the jailhouse? They said, no, that's inhumane. I said, inhumane? What's inhumane is pooping in a bucket, living out on the street. That's what's inhumane. You got hot water here. You got a place to land. You know what I'm saying? And so
I tell you, Bishop, I can see the passion in you. I can hear the passion in your voice. You're going to do something about this. So we're going to have to go to break, so don't touch that remote. Put it down. We will be right back with All About Community with Bishop Robert Jackson. Bishop Bob Jackson.
Positive Links Day program is a community center that provides disability awareness to remove some of the stigmas associated with the disabled population. We are located at 675 Hagenberger Road, Suite 255 in Oakland, California. Our mission is to be a voice for those that don't have a voice. We are recruiting community volunteers for training to assist us to develop and provide awareness for the treatment available for the disabled community. If you would like to volunteer, you can reach us at 510-878-9779.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. When we went to break, we were talking passionately with Bishop Jackson about the homeless, and he was describing about the county jail and the vacancy there, that something could be done, but there's strange stuff happening. In District 7, Bishop, could you tell us, why do you think that things have not happened? Why has District 7 seemingly been left out of the picture of all the great things that's going on in the city of Oakland?
Do you want the edited version, or do you want the TRUTH?
The truth.
Okay, okay.
Nothing but the truth.
What I think, personally, I think they're allowing it to run down. They're allowing it to get worse and worse, and all it's going to do is get worse and worse. And finally, the city's going to step in and say, hey, you that live in District 7, aren't you tired of this terrible condition you've been living in out here in District 7? And District 7 people are going to say, yeah, we're tired of that. We need to do something about it. They're going to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to rebuild the whole District 7. But the only way to do that is to move all of you out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, then we're going to tear down all this raggedy stuff, and we're going to build brand new stuff, high-rises, take that Coliseum, and we're going to build all of these high-rise units and whatnot, hotels, restaurants, and all that stuff. But you won't be able to move back here because the prices of the houses that you live in now will cost double what they cost right now.
You mean they will be moved out?
It's a form of gentrification that we've never seen, I tell you. And that's what I believe. Now, you asked me what I believe. That's what I'm saying. I think there's a plan for District 7 that the people in District 7 don't know anything about. And City Hall is doing a good job keeping it under wraps so they don't know. But it's prophesied within the next 10 years that especially the African American population, will be under 3%.
In the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, the African American population, which is right about 23% right now. It used to be 48.
It did.
Now it's down to 23, and it's dropping. Every day, more and more people are moving out of Oakland, and the reason they're moving is costs too much to live here. Well, it's getting ready to get worse, and it's by design, is what I believe. So we have to do something to stop that. People have lived here for generations, raised their kids and grandkids, and now all of a sudden, we can't even afford to live here. To me, that's terribly unfair.
Now, who are some of your supporters that are supporting you for your run for the city council? I assume you have some.
Yes. Well,
matter of fact, you probably have a whole lot.
I do, and more coming on board
Good.
because people want to hear the truth. They're tired of being lied to. They're tired of the politicians. I'm not really a politician, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have anything to lose. I'm not working for any particular specialty group. I'm not up trying to, you know what I'm saying, put money in my pocket, stuff like that. I'm way beyond all of that. I'm trying to help the people of District 7. I've lived in District 7 almost 50 years. I grew up in Oakland. I grew up in the projects in West Oakland, and my dad finally got a raise and we moved to Brookfield, okay? So I went to Elmhurst. I graduated from Castlemont. I went to Merritt College. I went to Cal State Hayward, got my BA degree. The point I'm saying is,
You sound like a local person.
I am local, and I've been here, and I'm going to die here in the city of Oakland, so I'm not going anywhere. And I'm going to do everything I can to help the people in District 7. So you asked me who's endorsing me?
Yes, I did.
First of all, Senator Parada has endorsed me, and also Sandre Swanson, Assemblyman Sandre Swanson. I just got a new endorsement from Bishop Macklin from Glad Tidings.
The Bishop Macklin?
Bishop Macklin, Glad Tidings Church of God in Christ, and also all of the bishops in Northern California, Bishop Murray, Bishop Bullock, Bishop Smith, Bishop Galbraith, Bishop, I mean,
you got all those big
all of
boys.
them just came on board to endorse me. And so, but I haven't had a lot of endorsements from a lot of these particular groups, specialty groups, I call them. But they've been having campaign forums. And what's happening is they want me to go along with what they want to do and what they're trying to do. And they want me to commit to that before they would endorse me. And I'm saying, no, I'm not going to do that because your endorsement doesn't mean that much to me. I would rather have the endorsement from the people who live in District 7, knowing that I'm going to be working for them and not specialty groups.
So some of those specialty groups have been endorsing your opponents, I suppose.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
But I understand that you have one key endorsement of the great person that used to be city manager here. I can't remember his name.
His name is
Maybe
Robert.
I'm gonna let you say it.
His name is Robert Bob. Yes, sir.
Bob.
Yes, sir. The ex-city
How
manager.
did you manage to do that?
Well,
because he is a very important person.
I love to say this. When Jerry Brown, who was then the mayor, when Jerry Brown got that strong P vote, in other words, he became the real power in the city. All of a sudden, he and Robert Bob got into it. And as a matter of fact, it was over the ball team and whether we were going to put the ball team. He wanted to put it downtown. And so there was some controversy because Jerry Brown, the mayor, he wanted to bring more people downtown with these high rises and whatnot. So he ended up firing Robert Bob. And I ran up and talked to Robert Bob, and I convinced him to become the president of the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce. And so I hired him with no money. I hired him and gave him a job when he got fired. So he remembered me giving him a job. I like to say that, of course. Of course, he didn't need a job, of course, not a man with his stature. But I love to say that it was true. He did come and join the chamber and work with us with the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce after he got fired from city manager. So yes, that's. But I have a lot of great people, community people. Ray Chester from the Raiders football player endorsed me as well, and so I have a lot of local people that endorse me. The Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce PAC endorsed me. And on and on. So I'm really excited about that.
And you should be, because you have developed a reputation, and that reputation, as they say, precedes you. It walks out in front of you. All you have to do is just smile and walk along with it.
I don't know if it's that easy. I don't know if it's that easy, but
we're going to have to go to break. I tell you, talking with Bishop Bob Jackson is awesome because he's a man of passion. He's a man who has a plan. We will be right back. Put the dial down. Put the remote down. We'll be right back with All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host.
Hi, I'm Robert Bob Jackson. I'm running for city council, and listen, I need your vote. I need your support. And also, I want to tell you that we're going to deal with affordable housing. We're going to deal with the homeless issues. We're going to deal with problems that's been in District 7 for way too long. I plan on making a change. Leadership you can trust. Vote for Robert Bob Jackson. I'm Robert Bob Jackson, and I approve of this message.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host. When we went to break, I was talking again with Bishop Jackson, who is a candidate for the Oakland City Council District 7. Remember, District 7. Bishop Jackson, I'd like to change the subject a little bit and talk about the Oakland A's and the Coliseum and the Howard Terminal. And could you tell us your views on where they should be located, the Oakland A's? And should it be here at the Coliseum, which is right up the street?
Right.
Or should they be down in Howard Terminal?
Well, my personal opinion, I think they need to stay where they are. At the Coliseum. That's what the Coliseum was set up and designed for. 50 years ago, a lot of African-American people in particular lost their homes to eminent domain in order to make way for that Coliseum to be built there. And I want you to know, and to take it out now, it was just all that suffering that the African-American community went through to put that Coliseum there is now all in vain. 50 years later, they want to move it down to Howard Terminal. It's going to disrupt a lot of blue-collar jobs, the different unions that's there, the longshoremen and the waterfront, the maritime and whatnot. It's a lot of interruption. And then to try to figure out the parking and all of that kind of stuff. It's going to be a disaster. It would be a whole lot better if they left it where it is here out in East Oakland. And matter of fact, it's in District 7, by the way, and then developed around it, and improve the community at the same time. And so we don't.
What would some of your ideas be in terms of developing around the Coliseum, which, of course, as you said, is located right here in District 7?
Right. Well, again, you could put restaurants. You could put, different entertainment things. You could put things for the kids. You could put all kinds of things. It's over 200. I think it's 215 acres altogether. When you look at all of it, it's a lot of land to develop. And then you can move out into the community and strengthen the community. We can make the community better, make it safer. Some people say we don't want the Coliseum to be developed out here because it's not safe out here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Not safe. We had 3 ball teams, professional ball teams at the Coliseum, and it was just as safe as it could be. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't believe for 1 minute that that's an excuse. That's the real excuse why they want to move it down to Howard Terminal. To me, it's just a lot of work. Howard Terminal is contaminated with a lot of horrible stuff, and they start digging that stuff up. And West Oakland's already been under attack, you know what I'm saying, with those, the stuff that's been there for too long, the trucks and the exhaust and the fumes and all that. Well, to dig up all of that old land that's got all kind of stuff buried down there, Lord knows what's buried, I mean, it's opening up to me a can of worms. So I don't think it's a good idea. To answer your question, I would that they would keep the A's. We love the A's. We want to keep them in Oakland, but they have a great place to design and put together right here where they are at the Coliseum.
And I believe some of the proposed plans in terms of moving to Howard Terminal would be developing the Coliseum as a site. So it seems to me that that's weird. Why don't they just develop it and stay at the Coliseum rather than going down to Howard Terminal? I'm confused.
Once again, there's something going on with all of that, and something planned that we don't know anything about, and it's not getting out to the community. If you ask the average person in District 7, what's going on with the neighborhood, what's going on with the community, who changed our streets around, and bicycle lanes, Nobody in District 7 riding bicycles.
No,
What's up with that?
I've been thinking about riding a bicycle.
Yeah, thinking about it, but you haven't. But we have bicycle lanes, and then they took 2 lanes that we sacrificed homes with eminent domain to put 2 lanes on 98 going in each direction, and now all of a sudden they went back to 1 lane again.
True,
so they've changed the lanes, and then East 14th Street or International is a disaster now. I mean, they got a bus lane and they got the single lane, and I mean, who did that? And they never bothered to get our permission to ask us anything, and yet it impacts our community where we live. But we had no voice, and the reason we had no voice is because we had no representation in City Hall. I mean to change that. Trusted leadership in City Hall that District 7 can trust to know that I'm going to help that district become the great district that I know it can be.
COVID-19,
right?
Coronavirus, has had a tremendous impact right here in Oakland and in District 7. Any ideas or thoughts about that?
Well, we don't have enough testing sites. That's one of the problems, and we have them scattered out pretty good, but District 7 doesn't have, and District 6, that people don't have transportation like other areas, and so to get to these places for testing seems to be a real problem. We need more testing sites. The African-American community, the Latino community, coming down with COVID and dying with COVID, which shouldn't happen, if we could get the testing done. County seems to have money to do the testing, but they're very particular about where they put the sites. You see what I'm saying?
I wonder why.
I have no idea. They got the money to put them up there, and we have the properties to do it, but for some reason we can't seem to get it. I plan on changing that when I become city councilman. So I really solicit the support of the District 7 people and ask for their vote and to help me win so we can get our district to be as good and better than anybody else's district in the city of Oakland.
All right, well, I tell you, you're the man to do it. We're going to have to go to break again. Don't touch that remote. Put it down. We will be right back with All About Community with my guest, Bishop Bob Jackson.
Wireless Plus, your easy access phone provider, wants you to have a free phone, free accessories with free services. How would you like unlimited calls? Unlimited texts with free internet? Let us show you how you can get free government-approved programs. Come to our TV at 7801 Edgewater Drive in Oakland, near the Oakland Airport, for your free phone and unlimited services. Call the number on the screen today and let us show you how to gain easy access and communicate for free with Wireless Plus.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is BobJAll Harris and I am your host. When we went to break, I was speaking with Bishop Bob Jackson, who is a candidate for the Oakland City Council District 7. Bishop, this election is absolutely critical for a number of reasons. Could you speak to us about the importance of voting locally, statewide, and nationally?
Well, I may not have enough time to talk about all of them, but I can talk about, I can do local because it's very important to vote. And so many people are apathetic about the process. But listen, your vote does count. And another thing, if you're on probation, you can vote. If you're on parole, you can't. But if you're on probation, you can. So voting is something that a whole lot of people died, lost their lives, just so we could vote. And now that we can, it seems like the people are so apathetic about trying to vote because they feel that vote don't count. Your vote does count. And I want to encourage you, October the 19th is the last day to register to vote. So you want to make sure you register now because October the 19th, that's it. And you want to vote that local election because they're the ones that's going to be running the area where you live. And then you want to do the city because citywide because they're the ones going to be running your city. Then you want to do the state because they're the ones going to be running the state that you live in. And you want to make sure that those people's values line up with your values. And that's the people you want to vote for. So whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, independent, whatever, you need to vote. And you need to vote now because this country is in turmoil right now and desperate for sound leadership. Please register to vote. October 19th, the last day. Do it now and vote. Get out and vote. Listen, it's absentee ballot. They're going to mail it to you so you can fill it out at home, drop it in the mailbox. The stamp's already on it. Drop it in the mailbox and make your vote count.
Well, I tell you, that was a passionate plea for get out the vote, make your vote count. But I suppose most of all that you want to make certain that they vote locally, especially because you're running for city council.
Especially if you live in District 7, I want to make sure you vote and vote Robert Bob Jackson, okay?
And what if people wanted more information on your campaign? How would they get that information?
You can go on my website, jacksonforeastoakland.com. Jackson4FOR. jacksonforeastoakland.com. jacksonforeastoakland.com. Go on my website. You'll find all the information you need to know about me and the campaign. Also, there's a donate button on there.
That's important.
I'd appreciate it so very, very much if you would hit that donate button and donate what you can to the campaign, because I still need more flyers. I need more materials. I need more envelopes. So I need your help. So with your help, I know I could win. And thank you so much for your support.
Bishop Jackson, donating is very important, and you need money, obviously. You cannot run an effective campaign unless you have money. Correct. So don't be afraid to ask people to donate, no matter how small or how large, as long as it does not exceed $900.
That's right.
They can make that donation. We are running out of time. As a matter of fact, we have run out of time. My next guest will be Valerie Lewis, who is a lawyer and works at Safeway. We're going to find out a lot about Safeway in just a few minutes. So, Bishop Jackson, I want to thank you for being my guest on All About Community. You have been fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
So don't go away. We will be right back with our next segment, All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host.
Hi, I'm Robert Bob Jackson. I'm running for city council, and listen, I need your vote. I need your support. And also, I want to tell you that we're going to deal with affordable housing. We're going to deal with the homeless issues. We're going to deal with problems that's been in District 7 for way too long. I plan on making a change. Leadership you can trust. Vote for Robert Bob Jackson. I'm Robert Bob Jackson, and I approve of this message.
Hello, and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host. I am just delighted to have as my guest attorney Valerie Lewis. Valerie has been an outstanding figure in this community for some time. So before we get into our discussion about Safeway, I'd like to introduce you to some of the stuff that Valerie has been involved in and give you a little bit about her background. Valerie, welcome to All About Community. Let's chat for a few minutes about that. Where were you born? Were you born here in California?
No, I was born in Lynchburg, Virginia. And before you ask Lynch, that was a family. It was in Virginia. It's in Central Virginia, the Lynches. And I still have quite a bit of family in the area. In fact, I have to tell the audience I am lucky. As an African American, I can trace my roots back some 11 generations.
Ooh, that is fantastic. Yes. And where did you grow up?
Initially in Virginia, and then we lived in Michigan. My father did his internship and residency at a teaching hospital.
So your father was a doctor?
He was, which became very famous. It was Hurley Hospital in Flint, Michigan, which is where the discovery was made by the physicians of the lead that ended up, that affected the children initially in Flint. So a very renowned teaching hospital. I graduated from high school there, and then I actually returned to Virginia as an out-of-state student.
Out of state.
Out of state.
Now, your father was a doctor, but you are a lawyer now. Help me understand that.
I guess I'm the black sheep of the family because my dad was a physician. My mom, who just passed recently, was a science teacher. My mom actually had wanted to be a doctor, but met my father, and in the day and the age, went on to teach while he went to med school. And my sister is an RN. as a nurse.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And you attended which college again you say you attended?
I attended the University of Virginia.
And you went to law school there, didn't you?
I did. And I'd share with the audience, I know everybody hears about University of Virginia, if you didn't already know about it, after what happened with the good people on both sides, quote unquote. But I would tell you, it was a wonderful place to go to school. It was
It has a great reputation, a law school there.
Very fortunate to go there. And I went there because my mother and my uncle were qualified. My uncle went on to be a dentist. Remember I told you I'm the black sheep of the family. Everybody's in the field of medicine. Anyway, they couldn't go because they were black. So when it came time for me to look at colleges, my uncle was adamant, you're going to go to Virginia because we couldn't and we should have been there. So that's how it even got on my radar screen. It wasn't thinking about it. So I applied and I went there. But one of the unique things I hope people keep in mind about the University of Virginia and Charlottesville was they've never pretended that they were somebody or something that they're not. It was very clear that Jefferson was a slaveholder. It was very clear that enslaved people helped to build that fine university.
And what made you decide to go to law school?
Well, that's interesting.
Since you're the black sheep of the family?
You know, Bob, there are lots and lots, and there still are things that I like and that I'm interested in. And at that time, you know, when you're young, you think there are a lot of things you're really good at, too. I really wanted to, I really formed the desire more after I got to college than planning, you know, when I went to college. But I thought law was going to afford me the opportunity to always have to learn, to always learn new things. I was always been afraid of just doing something and being bored, especially now, being bored in COVID times.
Now, how'd you end up here in California?
Met my husband.
Met your husband?
Yes. In fact, I was introduced by, to my husband by the host of this wonderful show.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Yes, some 30-some years later.
Good, good. And then you came to California and you started out where?
I started out in law firm, actually down in the peninsula.
And then you decided to go where to, didn't you work for LEU at one time?
Oh, you're right. When I first came to California, I worked for LEU Harris.
Right.
Yes, yes, yes. And so I got a very studied opportunity to learn about the legislature in California and community here in California. What a phenomenal teacher and opportunity. Then I went to a law firm. And
then ultimately you ended up at Safeway.
I ended up at Safeway.
Tell us, how did you end up at Safeway?
Really was lifestyle. I was.
What do you mean lifestyle?
I was a mother.
Oh.
I had become a young mother.
Oh, yeah.
And
your son Aaron, right?
That's right, that's right. Who is now a working dude himself.
Indeed he is. Outstanding young man.
Yes, he's got a full-time job, doesn't live at home.
And that's a good thing.
So that's how I ended up there and been there ever since.
And what is your position at Safeway? What's your title?
I'm Assistant Vice President, Assistant Secretary. I work predominantly in litigation and regulatory matters. I also have a large swath of privacy. I'm one of the gatekeepers to make sure that people don't get a hold of your club card data when you shop with us, things like that. And then, as you mentioned earlier, I do a lot of stuff, other stuff. Like anybody that's working know, I do a lot of things I didn't know I did until I asked to do them. So.
But you're enjoying it?
I am. I'm not bored. I'm still learning every day.
Well, it's always interesting to see how people can end up at these corporations. As you know, I spent my entire legal career at PG&E, and to see how they develop over time. We're going to have to go to break, but when we come back, we're going to talk specifically about some of the things that Safeway does in the communities, not only here, but throughout the nation. Don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host.
Positive Links Day program is a community center that provides disability awareness to remove some of the stigmas associated with the disabled population. We are located at 675 Hagenberger Road, Suite 255 in Oakland, California. Our mission is to be a voice for those that don't have a voice. We are recruiting community volunteers for training to assist us to develop and provide awareness for the treatment available for the disabled community. If you would like to volunteer, you can reach us at 510-878-9779.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is BobJAll Harris and I am your host. When we went to break, I was talking with Valerie. We talked a lot about her background, but now we're going to talk specifically about Safeway and some of its commitments to the communities in which it serves. Valerie, could you speak to that issue about Safeway's commitment to the communities it serves?
Well, Bob, we like to...
And it serves a lot of communities.
We serve a lot of communities. We are in the vast majority of states in the country, not all over, but quite a few. But our banner, what we want to say about ourselves and share with people is that we are locally great and nationally strong. and
locally great, nationally strong. All right. I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah. We very much believe, and we own a number of banners all over the country, certainly here in the Bay Area in California.
What are some of the stores you own? I know you got Lucky, right?
No.
You don't own Lucky anymore?
We own a few Lucky's, but that's a whole different company.
Stores.
Very few.
Okay.
And so, no. Okay. We're not going to give them any play.
You don't give them any credit.
No.
All
but
right.
What we want to give credit, so here in the Bay Area, Safeway.
Safeway.
Pack and Save.
Pack and Save.
If you go to Southern California, Vaughn's, Pavilions, Albertson stores.
Oh, Albertson. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yes.
Albertson.
If you like to go to Texas, we own Randall's, Tom Thumb. If you're in the Northwest, Cars, especially Cars, C-A-R-R-S, especially in Alaska, in that area. So we own Acme stores back east, some A&P stores, although I think we may have rebranded those.
So in other words, you own a whole lot of stores. Okay.
Yes, we're the second largest grocer in the country.
Okay, all right. Yeah. We won't give the first larger any publicity here.
Right. Well, they're not anymore, but yeah. So, no, we do not own Lucky stores.
Now, how does Safeway invest in the communities in which it serves?
Well, remember I said locally great, nationally strong?
Exactly.
I mean, and I can tell you sitting here, we do believe that. I shop at our stores.
Me too.
My family and my friends shop at our stores. So it's very important to me that those stores are clean, that they're safe, and that they have the products you want and that they're fresh. We also remember when we make donations in the community, if we donate and help a school buy uniforms or an organization buy uniforms, they may often be our friends or family's children, our children. When we invest in food need in the community, and just since COVID, Safeway has donated more than $5 million in food need to cover hunger in the Bay Area, along with other donations.
How are those donations made?
Some of them are financially made. They're grants, grant applications. A lot of them are direct food donations. We have been one of the largest supporters of the Alameda County food banks and other food banks on a nationwide basis for some time. We have different organizations that may pick up at some of our stores, but those are formalized programs. We actually have a very formalized bread program that we rotate breads out. That's why the bread you get at our stores are so fresh. I mean, you're getting it that day, and the next day we're donating it to somebody.
That's good, because I always wondered about that.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Nice and soft. And
yeah, you want to keep it nice and soft,
That's
so you
right.
give it away to those who need it.
And we want them to get good, wholesome food. We're not donating things that nobody wants anymore. We want to make sure people get good food and good product. We donate a lot of our own national brands. I don't know if you've paid attention, but you may have seen Signature Brands, Signature Select, O Organics. Those are all actually Safeway branded products that we make.
You don't have to answer this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. On Safeway brands, are they just as good as any of the other brands?
Some of them better.
Oh,
and
better?
they've been recognized nationally.
So I'm going to go and buy me some signature products.
And you're going to save a lot more money.
Oh, nothing like saving money. I'm a poor man.
But actually, they have been recognized nationally. We have numerous awards. And I can't tell you how often I've been surprised myself when I go and try something new. It's great. I recommend. That's a personal recommendation, separate and apart from my position.
Well, that's okay. It's a good one because now that you've said it, my wife will probably believe it, so she will buy signature brands rather than those outrageously expensive
outrageously expensive. And our organic line is a wonderful line, and we have open nature lines. So I really recommend them to you strongly.
No, now, if we can continue along the COVID line, you said that roughly 60 million or 100 million or whatever it is has been donated.
Actually, I brought this information because I thought it was fabulous. It was really interesting. I mentioned it was 5 million just in the Bay Area, totally related to COVID. But on a nationwide basis, we've donated over $60 million as it relates to reducing hunger, and we've made a commitment to more than $100 million in hunger.
$100 million. Now, I would say that's a real commitment.
And all of those donations are funneled again locally to our communities, the communities where we have stores, where we serve. And remember, where we have stores, our workers are our shoppers too, and our family and our friends.
And are you doing a lot to keep your workers safe because they have to work? Have to keep.
Absolutely, and we're so proud of what they've done as first responders. They have been out there from the beginning. We've never really closed our stores, and they've been out there. They've been out there beginning, and they've still been pleasant and really working hard to serve and keep things on the shelves. They've been through extra training. You probably know we have plastic barriers now. We've had masks on from the beginning, and we want to thank our consumers and our customers who go in and wear their mask even before it was mandated. We put in the 6-foot distancing early on. We took additional steps to protect our workers in our distribution centers, including we wouldn't let folks from outside come in to expose our employees. We even brought in porta potties so that when the drivers delivered product to the distribution center, we could still protect our workers. So we've worked hard to protect them, but far be it from me not to extend our deep appreciation and gratitude for the work.
And Safeway has, in my opinion, done a very, very good job. Initially, they had some difficulty trying to keep toilet paper but that was not their fault. You go in, you couldn't find the toilet tissue, so but that was somebody else's fault. Safeway is a great store to shop. Don't touch that dial, that remote. We have to go to break. We will be right back with All About Community with my guest, Valerie Lewis.
Hi, we're Minuteman Press Oakland in downtown Oakland at 2406 Webster. We're your local printer. We help your business grow. We provide flyers, business cards, direct mail, any product that you need to promote your business, we have it. And remember, at Minuteman Press, no job is too small and no job is too big. Come by, stop at our shop at 24th and Webster, right behind the YMCA in downtown Oakland.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. When we went to a break, I was talking with Valerie Lewis, who's an attorney with Safeway. We were talking about Safeway's commitment to the community. Valerie, I want to ask you a couple of questions about Safeway's commitment to diversity.
Well, Bob, before you do that, can I let the audience know that I found out that someone here, sister, bought all the toilet paper, and that's why we couldn't keep it. We couldn't keep it on the shelf. So I did get a little intelligence on that.
Be sure and share that now.
About diversity.
Diversity.
Phenomenally important, and I can tell you, as a person of color and a professional of color and a woman, that I know, just like I know Bob knows and our audience knows, that diversity means we do a better job. And when we get diverse thought, I truly believe that we get better product, we get better ideas, and it's just better for our business. Not to mention, it's great for our employees, and I think it's important that people see people that look like them. Just like you mentioned, you had been a corporate attorney for many years, and Bob was a beacon to young lawyers and new lawyers going into the corporate profession. We knew and saw someone who was successful. So we know it's important. We know it's something we need to pay attention to. That said, and I would challenge anyone, and this is my personal opinion, you know, there's been a lot said in the recent months about diversity and commitment to diversity. I want all of us to continue to challenge that, and people need to put their money where their mouths are. And as a community, we need to make sure that we're seeing the results and that we're seeing changes. There are lots of things we can do better, and we're continuing to work at it, and we're committed to it, but I also think there's a lot we do.
And what are some of the positions that are available at Safeway in terms of the professions? I know there are lawyers there.
Well, we have lawyers. We actually have a corporate doctor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have our...
I'll have to tell my wife.
we have a gym, so we have
gym?
we have personal trainers and folks like that. We have nurses. We also have accountants. We have professionals in the audit staff. We have professionals in the security staff, and we have lots and lots of professionals, as you can imagine, as it relates to food safety, sanitation. We have positions for engineers. We have lots of positions in our manufacturing and supply plants. We have positions as it relates to environmental compliance. You would be surprised. It's also a great place, and I can't tell you how many folks in Safeway, Albertsons, and all our banners can tell you about literally starting as clerks, bagging groceries. And we had one woman who became, we have two executive vice presidents of our company, literally starting that way.
You mentioned a minute ago about suppliers. Do you have a program called Supplier Diversity or something similar to that?
We do have a supplier diversity program. We're working very hard to strengthen that and make that more robust and more inclusive. But if you have a product and or a service and you're interested, you should go online. It tends to be driven by the geographic location or the division, in this case, Northern California division. You would indicate your product. It actually goes to our Chief Diversity Officer's office, who you may have met. His name is Jonathan Mays.
I know Jonathan quite well.
Right.
Used to be president of the Charleston Bar Association.
And his team will shoot that out to the various divisions to see, do you have a need for this product? We're also, or that department's there to help assist. There are a number of things you do need to do from a business standpoint. We need to make sure you have insurance. Are you doing what's necessary from a food safety standpoint? Do you have all your labeling in place, that kind of thing? So frankly, we want our suppliers to be successful. We want people to want to come and buy their products and be repeat purchasers. But that is a program we're actually looking at very closely right now and trying to, like I said, broaden the work. But there are a number of Bay Area suppliers who are part of our company and now sell products nationwide.
Good. And I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, that recently Safeway made a contribution to the Oakland African American Resiliency Fund, which would help black businesses sustain themselves during this COVID situation. Why did Safeway do that?
We donated $50,000.
$50,000
to the Resiliency Fund. We did so because we know it is important to the health of our community, the communities where we work, where we live, that businesses stay intact, that they're able to continue to employ people, provide tax dollars, provide training, and grow. And remember when I said, you and I talked about it, this at the very beginning, being local and being working in our community is very important to us. We know that smaller businesses, minority-owned businesses, and especially black-owned businesses are under unique and particular stresses during this time. So it was a great opportunity for us not only to give, but give in a way that was going to continue to make a positive impact in this community.
And I'm certain the African American Chamber of Commerce, which I am a member of, and also a member of the board, and also the general counsel of.
That's right.
We greatly appreciate Safeway for that. Let's talk a little bit about social responsibility, environmental responsibility. How does that fit into Safeway's operation?
Well, we really want to leave the community the way we found it, if not better. We certainly are compliant with any and all of the laws and the requirements. And we also try to work with our communities and what the unique needs may be. But it's important to us. We do know that it makes a difference. Our footprint can make a difference. We do a lot from a sustainability standpoint. So we've invested a lot of time, effort in looking at different products. You may have noticed over the years our packaging has changed.
It has.
So we do. We also do a lot in our individual stores, our retail stores, to reduce footprint, whether it be recycling, composting. We actually have a program with regard to some of our larger, our plants. And distribution centers where we collect refuse and we help make compost and let others package it, sell it. We also have done a lot to change how we source product. So we look, for instance, at seafood. Are we sourcing it in a sustainable fashion? And are we also being cognizant and making sure that our suppliers are treating their workers fairly and in a humane fashion? And that we're tracking that type of behavior.
You have convinced me that Safeway is a responsible corporate citizen.
We try very hard.
Having convinced me of that, I'm going to ask you some questions about your own commitment in terms of community service, but we have to go to break. Don't touch that remote. We will be right back. All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and Valerie Lewis is my guest today.
Hi, I'm Robert Bob Jackson. I'm running for city council, and listen, I need your vote. I need your support. And also, I want to tell you that we're going to deal with affordable housing. We're going to deal with the homeless issues. We're going to deal with problems that's been in District 7 for way too long. I plan on making a change. Leadership you can trust. Vote for Robert Bob Jackson. I'm Robert Bob Jackson, and I approve of this message.
Hi there. My name's Rebecca Kaplan, and I'm honored to serve as your city council member at large for the city of Oakland. And I wanted to share some important information about our upcoming November ballot. We will have the opportunity to make vital choices at the federal, state, and local level. Here in Oakland, I would be honored to have your vote to continue to serve all of the city of Oakland in these vital times. And there's also some important ballot measures that we get to vote on. We have the opportunity to expand our democracy by voting yes on the youth vote ballot measure. This will allow those 16 and 17 years old to vote in local school board elections, improving civic participation and giving young people a say in these decisions that deeply impact their lives. We also have an opportunity to vote yes on the Police Commission ballot measure to provide independent oversight in response to police misconduct, improving accountability and trust. Also this year, it is more important than ever to vote early. Mail your ballot early or bring it to an official drop box to make sure it gets directly back to the registrar of voters. Information about how to vote and the other ballot measures is on our website at kaplanforoakland.org. Let's take action to protect our democracy.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. Valerie Lewis, an attorney with Safeway, is my guest today. Valerie, you have been involved significantly in the community in which Safeway serves. You've been a president of the California Association of Black Lawyers. You've been member of the board of directors of the National Bar Association. You've just been all over the place. You are a member of Delta Sigma Theta just to be a Delta girl. And you are also a member of the Links Incorporated.
Absolutely.
Now, why have you been so engaged in the community and still working for Safeway?
Well, let me also say I'm a member of 12 Days of Christmas, so we do a lot. We work with families and PAL at Christmas time and through the year.
Indeed.
So,
and a member of a lot more organizations. I just haven't thought
you're
of.
right. You know, I don't think I had a choice. I think I was bit. You know, I watched my parents. My mother was a school teacher, remember I mentioned that? And they were both active in the community. Even my grandparents were very active in the church, so I kind of did not know any better. And I always understood to those who much is given, much is expected.
Absolutely.
And that's basically the way I was raised. And then I was very fortunate on a professional basis to meet folks like Bob Harris, Elihu Harris. I think I just had no choice. And at the end of the day, it makes you awfully happy. You know, when things, we've all had some very long days, but it's nice to think that you made a difference for somebody else. And again, Safeway, our employees live in this community. Our success is dependent upon this community, and you know, you're coming back to see us, and heaven forbid we ever fool ourselves that that doesn't make a difference. I like to be involved in programs where I think, one, not only are we making sure that people are able to eat, but I believe in supporting the arts. I think, you know, people will talk about music helps people with math. Art helps people with writing and language. And think about how many people have made a success and difference based on the different gifts they had to give to their communities.
And you were secretary of the Executive Leadership Council.
Yes, I served on the board for many years, and also as secretary and as governance chair. Also served on several hospital boards in the
That's right, Alameda County Health
System now, and also at one point Alta Bates.
Alta Bates. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yes, you were on that board before I
was.
In fact, we were on the board, and I was on the committee when we made the decision to actually go with
to merge,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Absolutely, with Sutter Health.
Yes, exactly.
I forgot about our Alta Bates days.
I know, it's funny, but I think that's what's neat. We do what we can and try to make a difference, and it's funny to look back and see those decisions have made big changes, hopefully for the good in our community.
And speaking of the good in the community, in 30 seconds, tell me, why should people continue to shop at Safeway?
Well, you've got people like me looking out for you, whether it be food safety, your privacy, but there are lots and lots of folks like me at Safeway that care. And that's the one thing I will tell you, I think that stands out the most is the same people that you go to the store, they're regular people. They are our family, our friends, and we take care of each other in that fashion. And as a consumer, you're our family, you're our friends, and we depend on you for our success. I would also tell you that if you have ideas, you have thoughts you're not happy, it does matter when you write an email, when you write a letter, when you call.
And what's the Safeway website they can?
Well, you can go to Safeway.com and string through. You can also go to the community relations, go to media at Safeway.com.
Okay, well, I tell you, I am a die-hard Safeway fan.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for joining us on All About Community.
Thank you for having me.
It has been my pleasure to have as my guest Attorney Valerie Lewis, legal counsel at Safeway. And remember this, no matter what you do, when you do it, or how you do it, in the final analysis, it is still going to be all about community. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Valerie, for being my guest.